Terry Bell. Welcome, Terry.
Thank you. I bring greetings from Dr. Baldwin, who's out of town, and could not be with you today, so you all drew the short straw and got me. I'm going to get here and then I'll run out. So let me start with the chairman this time. Phil, one of them can have. And I'll do it this way. Make sure these 5 people get it. Let's do it here. The first handout that I gave you speaks to some concerns that I just want to make you aware of, and because this affects the local budget monies that we receive from you all. First of all is you can see I got reversions and a lot of question marks. We don't know and will not know for some time what, because in the future and in the past what they've done, they give us money, and then as soon as they give the money and get that published in the newspapers and on all the media outlets, then they say give it back to us, a certain amount back to us, and so we don't know what that's going to be. Also, we've heard that it's going to be a 25% reduction in the teacher assistant allocation. That was the talk as the session ended. What that means locally to us is $200,000 for loss of positions. So, just giving you all these numbers. Also, this I think comes from federal. I think Ronnie knows more about me than I do. But we got last year, we budgeted $150,000 in timber sales, and we understand that that's going to go away also. Driver's education is another subject that's questionable. There is a move to take that and put it back on the local. We receive $80,000 a year for driver's education that may or may not be there. Also, it was a understanding that teachers will receive an additional raise this coming year. We have locally paid teachers. That comes out of local current expense, and so if they give that raise, then we're looking at those increased costs related to salary increases, insurance costs, and retirement contribution. So, in saying that, that's kind of where we are with the what I consider to be the concerns in current expense. Any questions? Okay, and on the second sheet you have here, this speaks to capital outlay. Capital outlay, before I talk about numbers, let me tell you where we were at originally. In the first round, and then Mr. Shields, I know saw this, in the first round of capital outlay requests that came from schools and from the, we received $5.2 million in requests in local capital outlay. And the school board understood that that was not something that they was going to bring to you. They wanted to be more realistic in trying to present to you what their needs. On this first page that you have, we broke it down into 3 categories: renovation, construction. Then the second was furniture, machines, and equipment, and the other is vehicles. And I'm not going to read these line by line. I'll guess that you take a look at them. And I'll make a comment about a few of them. It's going all the way down to the vehicles. I want to speak to that, and I've heard both Sheriff Holland and Warren talk about vehicles. We do have a small fleet of cars at the Board of Education, and I drove one of them over here to the meeting. It had, I believe it was 185,000 miles on it, and Dr. Baldwin's car he drives, I know, has that much. We got a driver's ed car with 170,000 on it. In fact, having worked for you all for a period of time, I can tell you that very commonly with the surplus, everything that we've got by now, and with it been wanting to replace it all. We did lose a car this week with the motor. It's gone. It's so old that it's not worth the cost of repair. So we're just going to sell it for scrap, which is all it really is, scrap. With the driver's education car, and I put an asterisk by that, the driver's education car, if suddenly driver's education went away, but I don't think that's ever going to go away. We're going to have to somehow come up with it. We always use that car, and of course the car that current driver's education has with 170,000 miles that would be moved into our fleet to replace the one that we just parked. So that's all we're asking for. The box truck is $28,000. That box truck is 1992 model we have over there. I don't know how many miles is on it. It is in bad condition, and we use that on a daily basis and making food deliveries and things to Highlands and Hale, and also out to the other schools. So it's really a way past time. Maintenance trucks, same way. Our maintenance department trucks are pretty old, and we really and truly need to, if we're going to keep those guys going out to schools and fixing all the things that they need to do, we need to replace them. The activity bus, the 66 passenger activity bus, the bus that we need to take out is 23 years old and has 200,000 miles on it. The state right now on the yellow school buses replaces yellow school buses every 20 years or whenever they get 200,000 miles. That's when the replacement occurs.
They look 250 actually.
They look 250.
Well, our contention was that time that bus we had this discussion of 250,000 miles in Wake County or on I-40 or I-85 and a lot of big ones, a lot of different than
Let's see, 23 years old. This one's due for replacement, and so if you look at our total on that first page, we totaled it up to $328,100, excluding the bus, and then we put the bus on the separate line total with activity bus of $413,100. Any question about the other two categories? I'd be happy to talk about any of them.
Any change, Craig, you remember 3 years ago maybe we done a deal with 2 activity buses. We buy the model, a later model,
Yeah.
and bought one, got a real deal, and anything like that. Have you checked anything?
No, Randy is the one that did that. I don't actually get it.
That was a good deal.
It was a good deal. It was a good deal. That's coming, next page. Okay, on the second page, Union Academy, we did not include on that front page anything for them. And so the first set of numbers, which says Union Academy capital outlay request, that came from the principal, and then I plugged in the numbers. And you can see that comes to $744,746. There is the highlighted yellow part, and that highlighted yellow part there. And I hesitate to bring up the subject with me sitting behind me because the last time it cost me 2 days of work. Thank you, I appreciate that. But at Union School, we started removing carpet and found we still had the 99 asbestos tile, which we immediately covered. And it's not a problem, it's not a hazard, and I have been contacted by Raleigh, and they know all that's going on. They say that we handle it properly, and it's not a health hazard to anyone. But that money will have to come up somehow in probably this coming year. So we'll be that much we're going to have to ask for the union, irregardless of whether it's green method. We need to get that up and put VCT tile down and place it because the carpet that's there is really in bad shape. If you'll jump on down to the blue highlighted part, and that's the QZAP down there, and you're all familiar with Barn Lane, QZAP, the quality zone, the academy bonds. We took Union School and did a cost analysis based upon the renovation of Highland School. And so if you just totally renovate Union School, you see what the total is, $1,475,000. That's based again upon the schedule values that we had at Highland School. I would imagine it's probably at least a 10% increase since that time on some of that part. In the Highlands high school wing, same thing. And so, you know, all we have here for is just, I guess, your discussion. You know, I don't know your ability due to your debt load and all that, but if we did a QZAP on those two projects, then that would get Highlands School, that would be the final leg at Highlands, and then for the Union Academy, that would take care of that school. And then we would be down to a discussion within the next few years about the big project, which
Union Academy is
right. We must provide an alternative setting. Every school system, all 115 school systems, has to make that available. And so we've chosen both Union, and you know, if you go back and look at the history, we were using that old pool hall in Jones Ridge to start with. It was called Jones Ridge Learning Academy. And then when we closed Otto and Union Elementary down as an elementary school in 2001, then we moved the operation from the pool hall in Jones Ridge up to Union School because we was paying rent there and we owned that building, so we just moved it up there and it's been there ever since.
Did you find out, I take it by the blue, we can combine the QZAP as long as it's renovation here?
We can put it in it's two separate projects, but we can put it in one request. Now we can't go back and we asked the question, could we go back to the QZAP bonds we've already issued? Could we re-bundle everything? And they said no, you can't do that. But what you can do is take these two projects and put it in the same paperwork that's coming to them. Does that make sense?
And the QZAP money is available.
It is available. We talked to them. Dr. Ball and I had a conference call with the gentleman down in Raleigh about it, and I think right now there's a little over $13 million that's available right now, and it will go away December 31st of this year. He has no request at this time on the front of him for that $13 million. So, and he does not foresee that after December 31st of having any more money available under that program. So,
Is the legwork been done at the Highlands High School wing? As far as the architectural work?
no. None of the architectural work has been done at either site. Basically, what I did, and I've got, you've seen the printout, what I did at Union, is just, I went through and just listed everything, because I know what's been done at Nantahala and what was done at Elementary Wing and Highlands. And I listed it, and then I went to schedule the values that was there with the contractors and plugged that into it, and that's how I came up with those totals.
Correct me if I'm wrong, they have a serious discussion, all that stuff's got to be in place, we make application. I remember the last time we came up with one little item, and
Right.
that.
But we don't, you know, at this point in time, as far as QZAP, it's my understanding that, you know, the school board then would ask you all for that consideration, and you would vote, yes, we're going to do it. Then at that point in time, we would employ someone to go in and do the paperwork, the architect, to get the numbers up, so then we can make a presentation on the college.
You can combine them together, that was the main thing.
It's in the same
Application.
Same application.
You've got to December.
But you have to have it. You have to have the everything awarded, work awarded, and everything by December 31st. Then you better have it
There'll
done.
be other applicants too. There'll be some more applicants.
Yeah. In the coming year.
You already skipped it.
Yeah. You still got big track.
Pay it back.
Any questions?
What's the status on the Phil Safe School there? Can you talk about that?
Right now, I think the current bid is $88,000.
99.
That's right. We got a bid, but I'm not sure he can make that. Has he made the bid already?
That's what John Haynes said on.
John's got the paperwork I know for $99,000. Right there.
It's 10-day period until February
Who?
Second. No, Jan, it's
Second. Okay.
February 2nd. The bid's gonna run from January 21st, February 2nd, and he anticipates receiving at least one more upset bid.
Jerry, hang on. Thanks, Jerry. Gentlemen, let's stand in recess for about 10 minutes.